Richardson Love. I'm the president of the board of Camp Hanover, which for those of you who are generations back, in the late 2018, 2019, we incorporated as a nonprofit. So now we have a functioning governance board and are happy to take your donations. But we're here to celebrate this gentleman here who we all know and love, Bobby James. I know when I started here in 1992, having seen not a single face connected to camp except the one individual from Durham, North Carolina who recruited me. He was one of the first faces that I saw coming on, welcoming me, and I know that he's done that for countless staff members and campers over the years. He's been here, not even served with all three camp directors from Camp Hanover, and has helped make this institution what it is. He has been committed over the years to be here and be present. He's also a role model for me because he sets limits, and he says, I'm not going to spend the whole summer out here. I'm going to come out and do when I can, but then I got other things to do too. And I think that's a good role model for anyone who lives a life of service like Bobby, because that's how we sustain ourselves. We're here to celebrate Bobby in many ways, through fellowship today, but also through the opening of this cabin and honoring him and his name. So thank you, Bobby, for everything that you've done for all of us. I know that many of us here, we are the people that we are in large part with you. The inspiration that you've given me, he helped me find my wife. Because Bobby, at least in my day, was very instrumental in terms of pairing co-counselors. And in 1994, I met a very special woman who I can't even see, somewhere, back there. And we met, and a week after meeting, we put in a request to be co-counselors, and then over 8-day break, we had our first kiss, and then come lo and behold, we came back from 8-day break to be married with 12 kids for the next 2 weeks. And Bobby whispered in my ear years later, maybe at our wedding, he said, I made that happen. And I know he's done that for a lot of other people too, in all sorts of special ways to build relationships. So we're here to honor Bobby today. I will cut my words short so that we can move on to the good stuff and we can spend time with Bobby and share stories as well. But next up, we have our current camp executive director, Doug, who's going to share some words next. Okay.
There we go. So I've now been the director here for 12 years, and when I first arrived here and we were entering the first summer, I was really anxious. I was really nervous. Not about running summer camp and things like that. I was really nervous and anxious about meeting Bobby James because I had heard so many things and how everyone looked up to Bobby, and Bobby had been here for decades. And for me as the new guy, that was incredibly intimidating because it's like, what is this guy going to think? If I make a decision to do something a certain way, is he going to give me a hassle? Is he going to give me a hard time? I was just really, really anxious and really nervous. And Harry will also kind of attest to this. Those of you who don't know me, you'll know that I am an absolute huge fan of what I call the sports. And so knowing that Bobby was also a football coach was incredibly intimidating because I was like, what am I going to have in common with, because I know nothing about football or anything like that. And so I entered this just incredibly intimidated and incredibly anxious. I wanted to make a good impression. I wanted to have Bobby's support. And I can tell you that the nervousness, the anxiousness that I felt was totally unfounded. Bobby from the get-go has been an incredible support for me personally, but also to every person that we've had here on staff during the time that I've been here. He has helped me get through some really, really difficult and stressful times during the summer. And I am incredibly grateful, Bobby, for all that support that you've shown, your stories, just your, one of the best things is when I walk in and I say something, and you just start to laugh with that knowing smile. Thank you so much for all that you have done over these 40-some years with the camp. And again, thank you for how you've helped and supported me personally in this adventure called Camp Hanover. So we have a few things we'd like to give to you as a part of this special day. First, there is a plaque here that we've had made that says, "In appreciation for your service," and it has the camp's mission statement to create inclusive community, inspire each other to live in God's love, and equip all people to live out God's call. And so, Bobby, I present that. Thank you for your many, many years of service. The other thing, we have a special little gift. I'll let you open this up, but a little memento. This one of the reasons this cabin is being renamed in Bobby's honor is because, at least for as long as I've been here, and probably beyond that, every summer when Bobby comes and serves at camp, this is where Bobby stays. This has become Bobby's home, Bobby's hangout. And so that's one of the reasons that we're dedicating this to Bobby. But there's a little memento from this cabin wrapped up in that package for you to take home and do whatever you want with it, okay? So, and while Bobby's opening that, I forget who is to speak after me, but come on up if you are next.
I'm interested to see what it is too.
Oh, man. That'd be great. Always impressive. That's always
All right, well, good morning. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Hannah Coltrane, and I'm a lifer here at Camp Hanover. My parents, Beth and Phil Coltrane, were actually on a committee before they were ever even married in 1955 and 56 to help found Camp Hanover. I ate my first solid food in Wise Lodge at 8 months old, fed to me by two ladies I see here today. And spent a lot of time here at Camp Hanover as a young child with church and other youth group activities. So naturally, in the summer of 1982, when I was 8 years old, I came for my first week at Camp Hanover and fell in love, and came back again in 83, which was Bobby's first year here. Did a little research and found out that I was actually in his last group of that year. So I've known Bobby a very long time. And what I can remember most about Bobby over the years is having him as a counselor or a UD are his sense of humor, always happy and jovial, his patience, and believe me, having a camper, you have to have a lot of patience. I never remember him losing it with anybody. His stories of Bubba and his own version of warm fuzzies and cold pricklies. But most of all, what I remember about Bobby is music. Bobby introduced me to some great music. Songs I specifically remember him singing were by groups like Three Dog Night, Marvin Gaye, B-52s, and the one that has stuck with me the most throughout my life is Whitney Houston. Whitney is my favorite artist, and anytime I hear I want to dance with somebody, I automatically think of Bobby James. So I'm sure there are hundreds of campers that have their own unique memories of Bobby, and that's what childhood and Camp Hanover are for, making good, positive memories that carry somebody throughout their life. So Bobby, on behalf of myself and hundreds of other campers, thank you for being a good, positive influence on us that you will stay with us for the rest of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
I was not on the original agenda, but before I left home, I live in Durham. I dug out some old information. Back in the day, we used to do a staff history at the end of the summer and just You know how you live together for 10 weeks and you develop funny little sayings and funny, we used to do pranks. They weren't allowed when Bob was here. So most of this is pranks and mischief. But there's a couple of things in here about Bobby that I thought would be appropriate because we were on staff together his first summer. There's at least 4 of us here that were on staff then. So during staff training, early on in the summer, Bobby didn't believe that mice would eat shoelaces. Do you remember this, Bobby? So he put oatmeal on his shoelaces to test it out. And what happened?
Yeah, he ate 'em.
Surprisingly little of this is about Bobby's mischief, which probably tells you something about him. He's just a good guy. But we also did staff awards, and these were not voted on or anything like that. They were just the few people who were involved in putting this together decided to assign awards to people. So that first summer, Bobby was a co-counselor with a woman named Sharon, and we said for managing to work together a total of 6 weeks out of the summer, when the rest of us had trouble with 2, we give Bobby James and Sharon Dunsing the Counselors of the Year award.
What else?
The next summer, this was more predictions than awards. We said that Bobby James will become the head of a home for underprivileged kids. So didn't quite happen, but he has certainly shaped the lives of a lot of kids. So, thanks, Bobby.
Thank you.
It wasn't always this large presence that he is now.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa Tully. I'm also on the board of Camp Hanover, and I just wanted to tell you all a little bit about how the Bobby James Cabin happened. A couple years ago, we were sitting around in a development committee meeting, and we were, I guess it's probably August, and we were starting to plan for our big day. Anybody know what the big day is? No, it doesn't happen during the summer because I'm on the development committee. Those of you who don't know what that is, that's where we ask for money. Our big day is the Great Camp Give. Yay! So we in August were starting to plan for the Great Camp Give, which is always late September, early October. This year, 2024, it's October. A couple years ago, you know, boy, that cabin 3 really needs to be renovated. You know, and that's where Bobby James always stays. Boy, it's a jumping. He doesn't need that. We said, let's set a goal of renovating the Bobby James cabin, cabin 3. And we asked our faithful Camp Hanover community to help us renovate the Bobby James cabin. And you came out in droves and gave to support us. And we so appreciate it. And this is what we have today. And after this ceremony, after this dedication, I hope that y'all will take a peek in their
rest of what's going on. In a moment, we're going to hear from Bobby himself. And then we're going to have Bobby cut the ribbon on this cabin. And we do, as Lisa said, we'd love to have folks kind of poke their head inside. We have so many folks here this weekend for homecoming that we actually don't have an open side here that we thought we would have because we have so many people here. But the family staying on that side of the cabin has graciously agreed to let us poke our heads in there. So there is some belongings and stuff like that, but you are welcome to, on this side, poke your head in and take a look at the renovations that have been made. After we conclude our service of dedication, we have lunch over in the dining hall, and there is a very special sheet cake with Bobby's mug on it that we're going to cut into and eat. But let's welcome Bobby. Bobby, you want to share a few words?
Well, I didn't write anything to say, but I could say this. In 1983, I flew into the airport, and there was a guy named Travis holding a sign, Camp Hanover. Drove out to Camp Hanover, and I'm telling you, it's the most rustic place I've been in my life. I've never been involved in anything like that. Payphone, it's true, a payphone over there, and everybody is waiting in line to use. But I learned the trick early. I've been used to getting up early. So the first time I called home and told my mom, I said, look, I'm going to be calling you probably about between 4 and 5. Because these people are going to sleep. Then I found out we had a rest period. I said, I'm going to get that time back. But I was going to be able to get on that phone when I wanted to get on it. But more importantly, I guess that first campfire. If you've been to a campfire, and John Ensign's there, and my mom taught me one thing in life. She said, always take advantage of opportunities in your life and take the blessings that come with it. At that opening campfire, each campfire lights anew the flames of friendship true, the joy we have, and knowing you will last a whole life through. And that's what it's been for me. I met so many people, starting off with John and Ruth Ensign, the founders of this camp, and Stephen Corbin along with there, and Bob and Lucy. You get Doug, Harry, and Ann. They come in here, and great people to keep this camp going on and on and on. And all the countless people. She always taught me also too, watch when you start using names because you're going to forget people. But Terry and Angie and Janet, they were here at the beginning with me. I met so many other people. Chrissy, 38 years. I mean, I had a unit director in a group with her, and it had to be 3 of them. Anna, Christy, and Molly, and they all were a little special. We'd have, break times. We played cards. Anna, she was a tough athlete, and we just had a lot of good times. And Anna was there. Fran, Mary, Hannah. I mean, those people, they just mean so much to me. I stay in contact with them. Angie, she's out here every summer and things like that. But like I said, it begun there. That statement right there. And over the years, I have a lot of stories, but one of my favorite ones is I had a group. I was unit director in the junior inn, and had a group of girls. They were all. My biggest mistake I made was letting them all be in a group together. They were all in the neighborhood. And one of them got homesick. Then it went next one. But then they had one, I'll never forget her name, Carol. She was a toughie. I came to Carol, I said, come on, help me. What can I do for you? She said, well, I saw you one night out there in that parking lot on your phone. Let me call home. So I broke a rule of all rules. I let her call home every night to say goodnight to her mom. We get to the closing campfire, and Bob does his usual. tell me something you had a great time doing. She was going, ooh, ooh, ooh. I said, oh no. And then she said, Bobby James let me go home every night. I had the biggest boo ever in the campfire. Even the counselors didn't know. Their eyes got big. I said, I had to do what I had to do. You know, but like I said, a lot of special times. You know, this place is very, very special in my heart. Every time, you know, I've got things in my office. Camp Hanover, coaches, players. What is it? What is it about camp? I said, you gotta experience it. It is a special place, and I really appreciate this. I'm one of those people. You know, I'm humble. The only thing would make this very extra special for me if my mom was here. I'm just one of those people. You know, even through camp, when kids would get homesick and everything, you know, I always used to come man. I said, hey, your mom wants you here. You know, do it for her and things like that. But that's the only thing, you know, would really be the icing on the cake. But, you know, thank all you guys for coming. Thank you.
After we cut the ribbon and unveil, like I said, invite folks to poke in. But before you poke your head in, we're going to take a group picture, kind of behind the sign here in front of the cabin. So, but I present you the scissors, Bobby. And if you all stand as Bobby does the honors of cutting the ribbon. Drum roll, please. 3, 2, 1.
Bobby, smile. This way.
We'll get situated for our group photo. They are very sharp.
I didn't touch them. I said, no, I said that. I said, no way, I don't want those.
She's getting the chicken ready.
Come on, folks. Nina, do you need us to have like your 2 end posts to fit between, like people to say?
Let's just stand on a chair. So far, so good.
I'm glad. I didn't see it beside me. I like that.
Get in here.
Okay, we're gonna take a couple. We're gonna hope for the best. Woo! Turn it off and turn it on again. Apparently, everyone's too beautiful. Okay. So smile. Say hello, Bobby James. Okay, should we do a wild one?
Go crazy. Go crazy.
That's not very crazy. Silly one. Silly one. Let me do it one more on this one. Let's see if everyone. Oh, not everyone fits on here.
You ready?
Okay.
These don't last long when you're old.
Not everyone fits on this. We'll see if Doug can do some magic. There we go. We're gonna do one more. Okay, we're good.
Look at this girl. Hey, good for you. Oh yeah, for sure. That's where it was.
Here's the other one.
Harris and Eddie.
Wave.
He recruited me.
Like one of my favorite guys in that encounter thing was Greg's music partner. I forget his name. Rob. The voice.
This is my baby.
We're going to get by and see you in your house. Good. Good. Do that.
My little brother.
83.
Not so little. It's good to see you.